welcome to Discard. Today I've got a very unusual stand/charger for the Nintendo Wii's controllers. Just happens to come from the Epic Mickey franchise and is just crazy and goopy and sticky and got the term Sticky Mickey. Let's take a look. So first of all, this thing is super strange. I don't know if I recommend this thing to anyone. It's just a very odd thing, and it definitely fits into the category of these types of character style stands that I've talked about in past videos, with the most recent being the Sonic stand for the Wii controllers, and before that, all of these cool character style stands that I happen to collect. But this is just the newest one, and boy is it strange. So this super strange charger/display stand is the Epic Mickey controller charger. And this is only designed for one Wiimote charging. And this thing is pretty large. The stand was made by PDP, I believe in 2010. PDP is a company that's been around for some time. They still make plenty of stuff today and actually have pretty good quality products. One of the unusual things about this stand, and might add into how rare it is and why it becomes more expensive, is that it was a Toys R Us exclusive. So what does it come with? Well, it comes with a couple batteries to start off with. It has a couple batteries that fit into the back side of your controller quite snugly, if I do say so myself, and then on the back you can also add their backings. Those have a little gap in the back so that you can actually charge it using the stand. The stand also comes with a charger, and of course it comes with the main chunky stand itself, which is this big gooey kind of oily looking blot figure from the game, and as well as a Mickey that sits there out in front. One of the things that I'm unable to test with this particular stand that I was able to get is that Mickey is supposed to be removable from the stand. I tried removing Mickey from the stand and it just felt a little too risky. He's a little bit too attached to the stand. It's possible that somebody in the past has glued him in place, and I just didn't want to risk breaking Mickey just to prove that Mickey is removable from the stand. But the massive scale of the stand itself is what drew me to it, because I do collect a bunch of these character style stands. I'm looking for these unusual things and really looking for all of these character style stands that I can get my hands on. This one's very unusual because it has this blot figure with its face there, and it's supposed to glow and change colors as your controllers are charging. And that's definitely a cool factor of this. The face on blot actually changes color. So it starts at red while it's charging and then goes to green once the controller is fully charged. And it does only charge one controller at a time. It comes with two batteries, so you can swap out your controllers as you're playing, but it only can charge one at a time. And that's pretty crazy for how much retail space this thing is taking up in your area. So moving on to build quality and how I generally feel about how this thing's been built, how sturdy it is, how well it works, etc. There's a lot of things to talk about here. The first thing that I want to bring up is why we have given this thing the name Sticky Mickey. And that's this very strange coating that they have covered the entire item in. So when I first got this, I did purchase this via eBay when I found it at a lower price, and I was able to take it out of the box, and I found that there was some dog hairs or something that was stuck to Mickey, and Mickey himself felt kind of sticky. The paint on him is kind of getting gooey and strange, so there's definitely some problems with how well they painted the item, and I think they chose some sort of paint that had kind of a rubbery feel to it, but in the end that paint is kind of degrading over time. So I'm trying to take really good care of this and find better ways of keeping it for a longer period of time. Now Mickey is probably the stickiest part of the stand, but the rest of the stand itself is also kind of sticky. If you are in any sort of a warm environment at all, right now it's kind of cold in this room, so the paint on top of this thing doesn't feel so sticky, but when you're in any kind of a warm environment, it becomes a magnet for dust. It's already black, so black surfaces just show dust like there's no tomorrow, but also whatever this coating is really sticks that dust on there, and it's really hard to manage in that way. And for the record, I don't know if that is paint that's on there that is sticky. The main item itself, you can move the fingers quite a bit without breaking them. You don't have to feel pieces are gonna break off. I assume they made this so that if a kid was using it all the time, it wouldn't have little parts that would get them choked on or anything like that. It's possible this thing's just made out of some kind of really hard rubber. But overall, this looks like a giant pile of calcified oil that's gonna be sitting on your shelf. A very strange piece, but Outside of that, another thing that's not a giant pile of oil might be the bell button. Be sure to hit the bell button so that you can get notifications of the video and subscribe. Now, getting into the actual functionality of the charger itself, I do have to say that when I did first get this, it did have some issues charging, but I found out that my batteries were completely dead and acid was coming out of them. These are batteries from 2010 when the thing originally came out, so I had to seek out another battery to replace them. And yet another really kind of interesting, unusual thing about this, and probably another thing having to do with this being a kid's item, is that the battery pack that is involved in putting it into your controller is also very, very sealed. The only way you're getting into it is by completely breaking it open. There's no other way that I could find to get into that little battery pack. So I had to find another charger from PDP that was using the same batteries, get that one, which was tons and tons of money cheaper. It's very inexpensive to get these chargers at this time, but I grabbed that one, got the batteries out of it, tried them, and they work perfect. Those batteries aren't dead, aren't corroded, there's no acid coming out of them, so they work fantastic. Now, getting into the significance of this, and I think, maybe why it becomes more expensive over time and more valuable, is because there's not that many character style display stands for the Nintendo Wii. You have the Sonic, you have the Mickey, and you have the Rabbids, as far as I know. If you guys do find any more out there, let me know. There's a lot of chargers out there for Nintendo Wii's controllers, but not that many that are character based, and I think that does make these special, especially this one that just looks like this crazy blob that's going to be on your shelf. I mean, I don't know if this thing looks good at all, to be honest, but I think it's really cool. But currently looking at this charger, the price on it is around $80 to $100 is a safe price to be purchasing this at, and the original price of it was $39.99 when it was at Toys R Us. Of course, there's that other factor of it being a Toys R Us exclusive to kind of bump that price up as well. But that price is most of the time above those prices. So I would say kind of avoid it unless you find it below $100 or just at $100. That's usually around the correct price for this kind of stand. But of course, if you're not looking for a cool stand that's totally original and it has a character style to it and is just kind of a little piece of displaying history, then I would recommend getting just a regular charger stand that's out there. There's more than enough of those out there to purchase, and they're like $10. You can get one of those things and be charging your Wiimotes, no problem. The biggest downsides to this particular stand is this odd rubber coating, the sticky Mickey involved. It's not going to be a great use of space. This thing is just a big black blob that's going to be on your shelf. I don't think it displays that fantastically at a distance, especially if you're not plugging it in. I think having the lit face helps with that and kind of makes it this oddity that's on your shelf. But the pros is having this really cool piece of displaying history, this cool charger that'll be never made again, and there's just not that many out there in the first place. So if you do see these at a low price, pick them up if you want to have this kind of crazy thing that's on your shelf. Otherwise, leave it to other people who are looking for this kind of oddity. But if you're looking for any other ideas or display stands for your game room, if you're looking for a cool way to display all sorts of different things that could possibly be in your game room, remember that you can always type in discard and the item that you're looking for, and more than likely you'll have a video related to that thing that you're trying to display. But if you have any other ideas, or you find some character style display stands that aren't in my other videos that I have put out before, please let me know in the comments below. I'm looking for those things. I'm trying to collect them. I'm also looking for other display ideas for game rooms, so you can leave those below as well. But if you liked the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Outside of that, collect what you love.